The confidence key. I think that confidence today is probably at an all-time low for most people. We live in a comparison culture where we're constantly judging our daily reality by the highlight reels of other people's lives. These perfectly curated and many times false, by the way. Many times false. I know a lot of people who are in the influencer world, and inside is not quite as pretty as the outside most of the time, but nonetheless, confidence is king. Confidence is king. I think we all deep down on the inside desire to be more confident than we are now, right? We desire to be more confident, and I think our lives would improve if we became more confident than we are now. We would be able to live the life that we've always imagined. I think most of us are held back from the dreams that we dream and the people we're becoming because of a lack of confidence. We don't try, we don't begin, we don't continue, and we don't reinvent. We won't consider failure because we're afraid it will label us a failure. And that's just a lack of confidence. And so confidence is key. People want to do business with people that are confident. People want to be in romantic relationships with people that are confident. People want to be led by people that are confident. Okay. And so understand first the difference between confidence and arrogance, right? Because that's really the thing that's going on, right? That there's a war on confidence because people look at confidence as arrogance. And there's a difference. Confidence is a secure trust in oneself. It's a secure trust in oneself. It's not braggadocious. It's not over the top. It's not trying to convince others of its competency. It's just a quiet knowing, a calm knowing that I can handle whatever life throws at me. Whatever's around this corner, I am well able to handle whatever that thing might be. I know how to navigate the rivers of life. That is where confidence comes from. Again, it's a secure trust in oneself. Arrogance is an insecure hope. It's the exact opposite of confidence. It looks like it. It's a shadow. It's a facade of confidence. It's an imposter of confidence, but it is that nonetheless. It is that nonetheless, right? And so arrogance is insecure. It's hoping. It's hoping that we're good enough. It's hoping that other people will see our value. It's hoping that we will be enough and that we are enough, but we're not quite sure. And so because we're not quite sure, we project this image of ultra confidence, hoping to be validated from the outside that we are indeed those things that we wonder on the inside if we are. Arrogance comes from a place of insecurity. Confidence comes from a place of security. Arrogance is a hope that we're good enough. Confidence is a trust that we are good enough, or that we could become good enough if we're not there yet. Okay, and so today I want to talk to you about the keys to creating confidence. I think confidence generally comes from two places. It comes from two places. One is a healthy, long-term, stable way to generate consistent confidence in yourself and in your endeavors, knowing that you know that you're going to win eventually, that things are going to work out for you. The other way, okay, is a way that we feel confident. We get the feeling of confidence, but we don't possess the confidence. One, our confidence is owned by us. The other, the confidence is rented by us from other people. And so I want to talk to you about confidence, the key to confidence, validation versus perspiration. Validation versus perspiration. So validation is when we seek our confidence from external sources. We want to be praised. We want to be appreciated. We want to achieve publicly. Okay. We get our confidence from outside things. Did I win this award? Did I hit these numbers? Did other people say that I was good? Are other people approving of this? That's validation-based confidence. And there's some level of validation that is required to know whether or not what you are doing is serving your audience, what you are doing is serving the world, right? Like there is some level of that that's necessary. But when our confidence, when our own trust in ourselves is based externally, that comes with a whole host of problems, and we'll go through them in a little while. So that's validation-based confidence. Perspiration-based confidence is the exact opposite. Perspiration-based confidence is confidence that comes from having done the work. It's a confidence that comes from having put in the reps. It's a confidence that comes from knowing that I'm prepared. Have you ever, think back to high school or college, if you went to college, and getting ready to prepare for an exam that you are a little bit unprepared for, right? Maybe you skimmed over instead of reading. Maybe you used the study hall to share answers with your friends instead of doing the work of thinking. And so now when it's time to take the test, we're not really sure what's on the inside of us. We're not really positive that we're going to perform well because we feel underprepared. We feel underprepared. And so that's very stressful. It's anxiety inducing. And this is also the way that most people live life. Most people are perpetually unprepared for their dream. In other words, if your dream showed up today, would you be prepared to execute on it? Would you be prepared to get the most out of that opportunity that was presented to you? Or would you be preparing then? Because if you wait to prepare until your opportunity comes, you're too late. And so perspiration-based confidence is a confidence based in the preparedness that I know what I'm doing. Go back to taking that test. If you've read the book, if you understand the material, if you know how to do the math problems, then you have confidence in that. You know, I'm well able to do this. I know what I'm doing. I know how to do it. It doesn't mean that it's not work, but you trust in your ability to complete that work. That's where that confidence comes from. So one is internal, one is external. And so let's talk about confidence, validation versus perspiration. I'm going to juxtapose these. When our confidence is based on validation, it is dependent on the approval of others. In other words, other people are the gateway to the confidence that I see. If they approve, I have confidence. If they disapprove, I lack that confidence. If I get the applause, I have confidence. If I don't get the applause that I'm looking for, I don't have the confidence. It's like I used to come off stage, ask people, did I do okay? Did I do okay? I used to go fishing for compliments, right? Out in the audience because it validated my confidence, right? It's like, well, these people said it was good and those people said it was good, so it must have been good. I didn't know that it was good. I didn't necessarily feel that it was overly good, but these people responded well to it, and so it must have been good. I guess I can be okay. My confidence is dependent on others. When it's perspiration-based confidence, that confidence is dependent on you. It's not dependent on other people. It's not dependent on their opinions, their fancy, their moods, their changing styles, their willingness to share that information. Some people don't want to praise you because it makes them feel small to make you bigger, right? And so when we are confident based on validation, that confidence is dependent on others. When it's on perspiration, it's dependent on us, okay? When our confidence is based on validation from others, it can be taken away with the changing crowds. You know, we just went through the Easter holiday, and the story of Good Friday and Pontius Pilate, not finding any fault with Jesus. So he goes to the people and says, well, it's our custom to release a criminal, okay, for this holiday. And so we have Jesus, and then we have Barabbas, and Barabbas was a murderer. He was in prison for murdering people. And the crowd chanted, give us Barabbas. Give us Barabbas, right? Okay. And so crowds are fickle. Crowds are fickle. Okay. And approval is transient. And so when our validation, when our confidence is dependent on other people's approval, and that validation channel shifts or moves, it can be taken from us. Other people hold the power to remove our confidence. But when our confidence is internally based on perspiration, on the work that we've done, that can't be taken. Nobody can take from you the effort that you put into something. Nobody can take from you the things that you have learned and really know. Nobody can take from you the reps in the work. That can't be taken away. Your skill sets cannot be taken from you. Your belief systems cannot be taken from you. You and you alone hold the keys to that. But when we outsource that to the approval of others, it can be taken. Okay. Validation-based confidence comes from outside. Perspiration-based confidence comes from inside, okay? So validation-based confidence depends on outcomes. If I'm winning, I'm confident. If I'm growing, I'm confident. If it's taking me the same amount of time or less time than I imagined it would, I'm confident. But if those things aren't happening, I lack the confidence because it's coming from an outcome. My results determine my worthiness, right? Versus perspiration-based confidence depends on the input. Have I sown the seeds of the life I want in the future into the life I have today? Have I done the work? Have I done what I'm capable of doing? Have I improved in some meaningful and tangible way? Not just on the scoreboard, but internally. See, internal victories will always precede external ones. Internal victories will always precede external ones. So validation-based confidence depends on outcomes. Okay, and outcomes are subject to a lot of different things, right? Who you're competing against, the rules, the referees, okay, the climate in which you're playing. But input-based confidence depends only on how well you show up today. I'm going to judge the success of the day by the seeds that I've sown, not by the harvest that I've reaped. Okay, not by the harvest that I've reaped. And this is a biblical concept: seed time and harvest. Seed time and harvest. When we're waiting to be confident based on the harvest instead of the seed, we're going to be waiting for a long time. And many times we never get the harvest because that's all we're focused on. We just want harvest, harvest, harvest. But a great farmer, in fact, a really bad farmer, knows that the harvest is the byproduct of the seed, not the other way around. Okay, validation-based confidence is going to be dependent on other people's definition of success. Are you succeeding in the way that they think you should be succeeding? Are you living up to their standards on your life? But perspiration-based confidence comes from your definition of success. And this is the most important thing. Man, I have watched so many people. And if I'm being honest with you, I spent a lot of years of my life, okay, chasing other people's version of success, living the life that other people wanted me to live, chasing the dream that other people wanted me to dream. I'll never forget sitting with a mentor of mine, and he spoke something over me in great attention. He said, you could be one of the guys that does this first thing, right? And that was what he thought I should want, but it was absolutely the opposite of what I wanted. I did not want that thing. I wanted the opposite. I said, I don't care if I ever get to that place. I want to be in the place that I'm at, and I want to be fulfilled and confident and showing up in the areas of my life here that matter to me, not just winning here at all expenses, right? And so when we are confident from our definition of success, that we are doing the things that we need to do to live the life that we want to live, to chase the dreams that are in our heart, to fulfill the destiny that is our destiny, not somebody else's vision, that confidence is very, very secure. When we are validation based in our confidence is based on how other people view us, and that changes. The tides of public perception change. What's in and what's out changes, okay? But when we have perspiration-based confidence, that's based on how we view us. Am I doing the work? Have I shown up today and done the best that I'm capable of becoming? Because here's the deal. Your very best right now may not put you on the scoreboard in the world yet, but it sure as heck puts you in the best place that you've ever been. And that's something we can be confident about. And if we continue to improve, eventually one day, if we don't stop, we will be amongst the best in the world at the things that we're doing. When we have validation-based confidence, that's very hard to control. We don't control other people. We don't control other people's perception of us. We don't control how other people feel about us. We can influence it, but we do not control it. And so when our confidence is out of our control and solely in the hands of other people, they hold a lot of power over us, right? But perspiration-based confidence is very easy to control. We just do another rep. We just make another deposit into the dreams in our life. We just show up and run it again. We do the work. When we do the work, we get the confidence. It becomes very easy to control. If I lack self-confidence, I can do something about that today when it is a perspiration-based confidence, when it's something that I earn by showing up and doing the work and being the best that I'm capable of being and forcing myself to improve. Nobody can take that from me, okay? Validation-based confidence is temporary. It's temporary. It comes and goes with the approval of others and with the performance. You see this a lot in sports, really high achievers, right? If they're at the top of the leaders board, if they're playing really well, man, it's like they're on the top of the world and they're untouchable. But when they're down in the dumps, man, these guys get super down on themselves. They wonder, like, why am I even doing this? That is external, temporary confidence. It's confidence coming from my current state of performance, okay? But confidence that comes from perspiration is permanent, because you can't undo the work that you've done. If you're a great golfer, you're a great golfer. Now, that doesn't mean that sometimes you don't have mental blocks. That doesn't mean sometimes you're not on your A game. That doesn't mean sometimes there's not distraction and disconnection. But fundamentally, you are great. You are great. And when you can trust in that, you let go of the anxiety to perform and you sit back on the skill sets and the knowing and the mastery that you have. And that's a much more stable and sure path out of the storm than looking for a life raft that somebody else sends you. When you have internal perspiration-based confidence, you don't need a life raft from somebody else. You are the life raft. It is you, okay? Validation-based confidence is based on appearance. How are people perceiving me? What do they think about what I'm doing, right? We put on a mask and we put on a performance and a show to get others' approval so that we feel confidence. But perspiration-based confidence is not based on appearance, it's based on substance. It's not what we want other people to see, it's what's actually there. It's the things that we've actually done, the person that we've actually become. It's not an image, it's not an alter ego, it's not a performance, it's a reality. It's a reality. It's not based on appearance, it's based on substance, okay? And finally, validation-based confidence is easily shaken. It's easily shaken because all you need is one critic, one hater, one person that wants to rain on your parade, one poor performance, one mistake, one person that wants to harm you, and all of a sudden, you're not sure anymore. And I mean, guys, like I coach a lot of high performers, and almost all of them struggle with this, right? They become very, very easily shaken. The minute something doesn't go their way, the minute their momentum turns, it's like, am I even good at this? Does God want me to do this anymore? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing with my life? What if I never get there? There's this whole host of really, really heavy, really, really oppressive feelings. And look, trying to get out of a slump, trying to create redirection or momentum is hard enough as it is, let alone carrying 1,000-pound backpack of all sorts of limiting and negative beliefs that you are never meant to carry in at all in the beginning. It makes it even harder to achieve those things, right? And so when we have perspiration-based confidence, it's stable and strong. It can weather the ups and downs. It knows that this too shall pass. It understands that we can be still in those moments, that we can trust in ourselves, that we can trust who we are, that we can trust whose we are, that all things are going to work together for our good, that if it's not good, that God's not done. That is a perspiration-based confidence. I've built this relationship with my Heavenly Father. I know Him. I didn't read about Him. I didn't have somebody tell me about. I know Him. I've spent the time. I've made the connection. I've sought His face. And because I know Him, because I know those truths, then I can know His promise to me. And when my life is not in alignment with the promise, I know that I'm not finished yet, that it's not over, that there's still more to come, that I can eagerly await the truth of that promise, that I can have confidence in whose I am. And when I've done the work, I can have confidence in who I am. I can know that no matter where I find myself, that I can do the work, that I can learn the skills, that I can build the relationships, that I can become the person, the version of me that I need to become to get to where I need to go. That is great self-confidence. But when we feel like, man, it was luck, or it was just an outside thing, or it was something somebody else gave us versus something we possess, we don't hold those things, and our confidence becomes very, very easily shaken. See, the true test of a leader is not where they stand in times of ease and success, but in times of crisis of confidence, okay, and upheaval and uncertainty. That's where real leadership is born. And real leadership ultimately is a byproduct of self-confidence. Do I trust myself to lead myself? Because until I trust me to lead me, I should not be leading others. I should not be leading others. My leadership of others should be out of the overflow from my leadership of self. Let me say that again. My leadership of others should be as an overflow of my leadership of self. The things that I teach others should be an overflow of me modeling those things, living in my own life. I should be living the message and living in such a way that the message creates an overflow a superabundance, an outpouring. And out of that abundance, that river feeds and waters the people that you lead. That's where it comes from. And so, guys, listen, we're in a crisis of confidence today. And we're in a crisis of confidence because we've outsourced our confidence from something internal to something external. We've created performance-based confidence instead of perspiration-based confidence. We've created validation-based confidence, okay, instead of excellence-based confidence. When we put in the reps to do the work, when we master the thing that we do, then we have confidence in who we are and where we are and whose we are and in our skills and abilities. We know we've done the work. We can't cheat life. This is where imposter syndrome comes from, you all. Imposter syndrome comes from when you feel that your station in life is beyond what you deserve, right? That you have somehow gotten here by error, that you don't really deserve to be here because you know that maybe you haven't done all that you are capable of doing. Maybe you're at the right place. Maybe it's the right connection. Maybe it was, some other thing that's put you there. And overcoming imposter syndrome is done by doing the work, by saying, you know what? I can't guarantee that I'm going to win, but I can sure guarantee that I deserve to win because I put in more reps than all these people. I've made sacrifices that they haven't made. I've disciplined myself in ways that they have not been disciplined. I've said no to the things I wanted now for the things I wanted most when everybody else was willing to trade those things. I deserve this. I deserve this opportunity. I deserve to be in this room. I deserve to be in this place. And this is not having a grandiose view of ourselves. This is very, very different than that, right? This is not self-deception that comes from outside confidence or arrogance, right? Trying to project that. This is confidence that comes from the inside of who we are. I'm not better than anybody else, but I've outworked them. I'm more prepared than they are. I've done the development that they haven't done. I've mastered what they only know. That is where that confidence comes from. You want to be more confident? Stop putting your confidence in the validation and approval of others and start putting it in the reps that you're putting in every single day on the things that you want to be great at. That's where real self-confidence comes from. Hey guys, listen, real quick. Many of you know I have a brand new book coming out. It officially releases May the 6th, but it is available now on Amazon on pre-sale. It is a discounted rate right now. 12 words that change everything. Guys, listen, leaders are readers. Leaders are readers. You are the sum of the people that you hang around with and the books that you read. So do yourself a favor, you hit that QR code or go to Amazon.com today. 12 words that change everything. Put your pre-order in. You'll be amongst the first to get that book. It is a truly life-changing book. These are the 12 words that changed everything in my life, right? And confidence is not one of them, okay? But it could have been. It could have been, right? This is a good teaching on confidence. If you found value in this, type good teaching. Type good teaching in the comments. This is good teaching on sustainable self-created confidence. Sustainable self-created confidence. Confidence that is not dependent on the approval of others, the trends of others, the moods of others. It's not based on our performance, how well we did at our last round, but it's based on a deep and fundamental knowing and trust in ourselves that we have done the work, we'll continue to do the work to be the very best that we're capable of being, that we are playing at the edge of our capacity and we're actively engaging in expanding that capacity every single day. That's where real confidence comes from, knowing that I know that I will rise to that challenge. Why? Because I've been tested, I've been tried, I've been here before, I put in the work, I'm prepared. The test is coming up and I'm not afraid of failing it. I know I'm going to ace it because I've studied up, I've done the work, I've done the preparation, I'm ready to perform out of an abundance, not out of a need for an approval, right? I'm going to perform to make something great, not to be validated and approved of. And what a great way that is to live. So guys, listen, I hope this helped you. If this helped you, smash that share button, share this to a group, share it to a friend, tag some people in it that need a little boost of confidence. Maybe they've been getting their confidence from external things, right? They've been trying to be validated by their significant other. They've been trying to be validated by the marketplace, by their views, by their likes, by all this stuff. I'm going to give you one thing here. It's so interesting. The social media world is changing like crazy. It's always changing. It never stops changing. And one day soon, I'm gonna have a nice social media sabbatical. You're gonna see it. I'm warning you about it now. There will be a time in the future when you will not be able to find Prug every day giving out free stuff here on social media. That time is coming, and I'm very, very excited about it. It's a yearning on the inside of me. Okay, but there was a time like live videos when we were amongst the first people on live videos, and you could have 2, 3, 4,000 people watching these things live. They have 50 or 100,000 views in an hour. It was just like a thing, right? And so social has moved away from that. But I know a lot of people, right? If they don't have enough eyeballs on their stuff, they just won't make the stuff. And that is a confidence that is validation based. If I don't have the views, if I don't have the engagement, then I'm just not going to make these things. Okay, but perspiration based confidence says, I'm going to make things because I want to make great things. I'm going to make things because I believe they contribute to the world. They make the world a better place. They improve other people's lives. They make me better. They clarify my thoughts. They help me to get clear on the message that I want to communicate and become a better communicator. In fact, if there was nobody watching it, I'd still make it. That is the difference between validation-based confidence and perspiration-based confidence. And guys, look, I'm living that out. I'm living that out. I have made a decision no matter how many people watch it. Sometimes lots of people watch it. It's millions of views. Sometimes 6 of you watch it, right? And everywhere in between. Now, I don't know about that. It's been a long time since I've seen those numbers, right? Okay, so the social media gods, they're doing their things out there. But the point being is, are you going to let the approval or disapproval of others, are you going to let the engagement or non-engagement of others, are you going to let the likes and the views and the shares dictate and determine what you show up to do in your life, the quality of what you produce, the quantity of what you produce? Are you going to let those things determine your behavior? Or are you going to produce because you have something valuable on the inside of you to share with other people? Are you going to create because there's power in creativity? Because God has made us he was creator with a capital C, and he made us in his image. We are creators with a lowercase c. Are we going to make it for what we get, or are we going to make it for who we become? Are we going to make it for what we get, or are we going to make it because the world needs it? Are we going to make it for what we get, or are we going to make it because that's what we're called to do? See that difference? And so, guys, listen, this is a major, major hack. One of the earliest things I learned was to take confidence from inside, not from outside. Look, I'm a work in progress. I got to work on this all the freaking time. Don't get me wrong. I'm a words of affirmation person. Like Mark Twain said, I can live on one compliment for 2 or 3 months. Okay. But I don't want to need that. I want to understand that I can have that same confidence by just doing the work. I don't need you to tell me I'm great. I can go to work to make something that is great to me, where I know that I have done my best, where I know that I have done my best. So guys, hey, listen, scan the code, get the book. I hope this helped you. God bless.